Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, SPEC, the specialist power contractor to industry.
Welcome to Rugby. We're going to start the show with an amazing fact. Thomas Stanley, the first Earl of Derby in 1435, named what you know today as the Derby after this fixture. St Helens versus Wigan, the very first Derby game of all time. And we at Rugby are here to sample the atmosphere. Meet the fans, meet the key people that bring this iconic game of Rugby League together. Behind us, the Wigan fans see their young team warm up, the team that against all odds has battled through with probably 3/4 of the cap on the sidelines. St Helens resurgent, a new coach at the helm, and the smash hull at Magic Weekend. You can't call this game, it's so tight. During this show, we're going to meet the Sculthorpe brothers. We're going to meet Chris Radlinski, hear about the 1 to 13. We've got the fans, we've got the players, we've got everything right here. Rugby AM, check it out. Saints versus Wigan right now here at the Totally Wicked Stadium. Outside the Totally Wicked Stadium with the man of the moment, Justin Holbrook. Justin, firstly, welcome to England, welcome to Rugby AM. How are you feeling being here at the Saints?
Yeah, very excited. Obviously got here last week, and I told the players straight away I was excited for the opportunity to be coaching them, and yeah, that's still applying this week. Thank you.
You've come into a team steeped in heritage. You've got some fantastic talent, the likes of Mark Percival, Alex Walmsley. It must really excite you, the quality you've got at your disposal.
Absolutely, yeah, and I, it's one of the reasons I'm here. I knew they're a quality side, just in a bit of a hole at the moment, and hopefully I can be part of getting them out of it.
Mate, announcing Ben Barber, for me, he'll be the best player in Super League. One of the marquees in the NRL. It's really exciting. I think it's great for the game over here to be bringing such a prestigious talent. You must be really excited about getting him on the paddock.
Oh, without doubt. I think it's great for the competition. I said that last week. Whether he came to St Helens, which obviously I'm wrapped with, or he went to another club. I think it's great to have a player of his ability that's going to come in this comp. So it should have a lot of interest, as it should. As you said, he's a world class player. So I think it'll be fantastic.
It's still early in the season, plenty of points to play for. Are you confident of getting in that top 4?
Yeah, it's a long way off.
Yep.
We had a good win last week, but we've got to keep winning, don't we? We've got to keep catching the top pack. So, hopefully we keep playing well and keep stringing some wins together. We can get up there.
Massive game tonight against Wigan.
Yeah.
It's the game that all the fans look forward to. Your first taste of the derby. What are you expecting?
A tough game. That's pretty obvious, isn't it? There's no point trying to play it down. It is a massive game. I understand that, and they're the ones you want to look forward to being part of. So, I know there's extra special feeling. You still only get 2 points, but I know from talking to the players and staff how much more it means to the fans and the community. So I know it's a big grudge match. I'm well aware of that, and I'd love nothing more than a win.
A massive game for us. The context of our season are even bigger because we've struggled to get going this year. A great performance against Hull at the Magic Weekend, and we really need to improve again and keep moving. Justin Holbrook's come on board, which has had real impact. And tonight we want to do this local derby justice and put a great performance in for him and ourselves and our great fans.
Justin's come in and different ideas and stuff, and we're just playing good rugby last week, and we've got to continue that. It's all on us really, and it's like 2 or 3 hours before the game, and it's packed out already. So what a better way to carry on from our performance last week to back it up with a good win this week.
Obviously they got a new coach in, so they're all wanting to impress. You know, so we're expecting a real tough start. You know, obviously with the weather, it's going to be quite. Going to take a lot out of us early on. So we want to start fast, match them, and obviously go toe to toe with them, and hopefully get the 2 points. At the end of the day, it's 2 points that's at stake.
Shows last week on the big stage at Magic Weekend at what we can do, and Hull are a top side, and we blew them away. So for us, it's just all about having a bit of confidence, getting a couple of wins under our belt, and then just wanting the boys to enjoy themselves and play some footy. And I think we play with a bit of anxiety at times, and it's just let the boys go out and play some footy, and let's enjoy it. And I don't think we're too far away. You know what I mean? A lot of other teams will say you're miles off, but a couple of wins and you're right back in it, especially with the league and teams knocking each other off at the top all the time.
Obviously, a new coach coming in, always kind of a fresh environment. He brings with him real enthusiasm and some new ideas. And on last week's evidence, the boys are very receptive to that change that's happened. But obviously, 1 week doesn't make you a good team. You have to do it consistently, and that's our challenge from here on in.
Obviously, yes, it's a derby, and everyone always says to me since I've been up here now for 7 years, just beat Wigan. So it's more to everyone. I think you just need to go into these games and win these games to have a nice week.
Big, and everyone's buzzing about it. Everyone's looking forward to it. Great night for rugby, and Tommy and Pau back today. Two lads, big influential players for us. So it's good to have them back. Night like this, there'll be some tired bodies out there. So have some boys like our Boston's round will be good.
There's some great stories in rugby league. Alex Walmsley contacted me recently about this man, Dave Makin, and I'm really privileged to join him down here at the Totally Wicked Stadium to find out a little bit more about CRPS syndrome.
The CRPS is a condition that 1 in 26,000 people get.
1 in 26,000?
1 in 26,000 people. And it basically comes from a trauma of usually a limb injury.
Yep.
It's usually an arm or a leg that suffers with it, but you can literally get it anywhere all over the body. I basically had mine probably from 3 inch above and below the knee from a knee reconstruction.
You played rugby at a very high level yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, I played down at Swinton, and I was down there for 3 years, and this was literally done after a gym session. Literally went to turn around to walk away, and out come the kneecap again. Went in for the knee op, was told that it'd be 8 to 12 weeks, and I never walked since.
Alex Walmsley, Dominic Peru have been absolutely phenomenal for you. Tell us about the support the boys and the club have given you as well.
What this club and the rugby league family have jumped on board, and I've tried pushing not too hard, but basically I've been using Instagram, which is how I got in touch with yourself, with a bit of persuasion by Alex. But basically just sending a message, just saying, would you like to wear a band? Don't want anything off you. It's literally to raise awareness.
And now, as a resolution, which seems really drastic, but for you it's a godsend, the leg is going to come off.
It is drastic to say take my leg off, but that's the only way forward for me, mate. I can't do anything else.
If you want to get in touch with Dave and support him, his Instagram details are on screen right now. Please follow him, like what he's doing, and help him spread the great word and support this fantastic campaign. Dave, pleasure to meet you, mate.
Alex, thank you very much, mate.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
In the heart of Langtree Park, we're meeting one of the VIPs, the most important people on a match day behind the scenes. Is this man, Simon the Pieman? But you've got a real chef's name on here, Simon.
Yeah,
what's your full name, mate?
Simon Smith Shelley.
That is a proper chef's name,
Thank
mate.
you very much.
You're famous on rugby, and you might not know it because last year we visited every single rugby club and we tasted the pies, and the Saints pies came out #1. Tell us a little bit about, firstly, the pies, because what makes them so special, so good, and is there a secret ingredient?
We started making them here. I'd gone to a stadium that I don't want to name. Pie wasn't good, and I thought we should do that. I could make that. And we just started from there about 4 years ago. I used the ale from our good friend Tommy Martin. He supplies that.
Yeah.
And it's all literally
It's
start to finish.
So the secret is it's handmade, it's
Handmade.
bespoke.
Everyone finished by
Every
hand.
single one.
Every single one, yeah.
Absolutely outstanding, mate. Well, I'll let you get back to the kitchen, mate.
Thank you very
Fantastic
much.
to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you, Alex.
Thank you for
And
your
you,
time
pal.
and thank you for your pies,
No worries.
mate.
Enjoy.
Thank you, mate. Catching up with this man is an absolute privilege. One of the founders of the State of Mind, Danny Schofield. Danny, tell us a little bit about State of Mind, where it's come from, where it's going to. Because in that time, I remember years ago, you talking about State of Mind, and now it's really risen to prominence, not just in rugby league, but in world sport and off the field as well.
Yeah, it started obviously after Terry Newton took his own life, my best mate, and we just started off in the Super League teams, went down to the Championship, went down to the community clubs, and then it's just took off in business and schools, universities. Now it's absolutely massive, and near enough full time with it now. It's mental health is a massive issue, spoke about by the Prime Minister all the time, and it's a big on her agenda massively. So it's good, and players are really getting it, and the understanding that the fitter they are mentally, they're going to be play better on the field.
There was a couple of big changes at the same period of time which really knocked me. One was having to leave Warrington Wolves, which I've been at 10, 11 years for. Unfortunately at that time that actually coincided with the death of my brother-in-law as well.
I just graduated from university, just got myself a job with IBM in Manchester, and we had to uproot and move across the Pennines to Hull.
Mate, recently Prince Harry, royalty himself, talking about how he's harboured a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions from the sad tragedy of his mum passing that he's never dealt with, and it's great that people of that calibre can now feel open, come out and talk about their own mental health issues.
Yeah, it's massive. Their charity called Heads Together. I've just done a video for them, which was fantastic. Hopefully get down and meet the Royals, but for someone who are so highly thought of as them two guys, the Prince William and Harry, it's massive for mental health. It's absolutely fantastic that men are being able to speak about the problems, and that stigma's being broken down. If you are struggling, we have an In Your Area site, so if you live in St Helens or live in Wigan, just type on In Your Area, type on the area, and all the helplines will come up, and you can contact me through Twitter, and I'm always here to lend an ear or put an arm around someone. there's no one that I'll never turn away from anyone. You know, I'll always help anyone if they need it.
To have that support there, that you know there is vital, and I don't think that goes to rugby league. I think this is a social aspect right across different jobs and different cultures. So the more help we can get in terms of the mental health support, I think the better the society will be.
We've met up with your brother this week, Paul. What was it like growing up with Scully? Is it aggressive, combative? Were you at each other all the time?
Yeah. To be honest, I mentioned it in my book. You know, we absolutely hated each other.
Did you really?
Yeah, hated each other. It was only when I come to about 15 or 16 and I realised how much I looked up to him that we started getting on, to be honest. And now we're like best mates as well as brothers.
Biggest derby for any Wigan or Saints player is tonight. What's it like to play and how does it feel?
Oh, it's electric. You know, you see the fans turning up. You know, I was lucky enough to play in the Wigan Saints derby at the Millennium Stadium in the Challenge Cup final, which was absolutely unbelievable. But any game, no matter how small or how big, how much it means to a team, whether it's a playoff or just a league game, just to get one over on Saints was absolutely massive for Wigan, and especially when it's brother against brother as well, made it that little bit special. And you know, I absolutely loved every time. The majority of my games, the team that I played against the most was St Helens, because I love playing against St Helens. I love playing against our kid. And the Wigan Saints derby, I don't think you can beat it. Hi, Paul Sculthorpe here. I've been asked by Rugby AM to select my all-time 1 to 13 that I've played with, which is no doubt going to be difficult. Start with number 1. I've gone for Paul Wellens, an absolute legend of a player. You know, Mr. Consistent, but you know, the thing with Wello, consistently brilliant week in, week out, you know, either for club and for country. Obviously, you know, probably a bit of a Saints bias there, but I've gone for Paul Wellens. Winger, I've gone for Jason Robinson. Played with Jason at England, and you know, the guy's an absolute freak. You know, he could do anything in the game. You know, the best footwork that I've ever seen. Obviously went on to bigger things in rugby union as well. World Cup winner. Centre, this is probably the toughest call. I've been spoilt. First one I've gone for is Paul Newlove. You know, he was a world record signing for Saints, and you know, obviously on that left flank when I joined Saints in '98. You know, somebody that big and that strong shouldn't be able to run that quick, and you know, Newey again, you know, agility wise, you know, always taking people down that left edge was unbelievable. The other centre, you know, notable mentions for, you know, Martin Gleeson, Matt Gidley, Keith Senior, you know, Gary Conley, but I've gone for Jamie Lyon. You know, Jamie was only 2 years at Saints in 2005 and 6, and I think absolutely set Super League on fire. Second winger, I've gone for Darren Albert. Obviously played with Albie at Saints. You know, he was a grand final winner in the NRL with Newcastle Knights. For me, you know, just the attributes of a winger. You know, probably the quickest man that I've ever played alongside. And you know, when you've got somebody in your team that quick, you know, you can do all sorts. Standoff, I've gone for Danny Maguire. I think one of the standout players of the Super League era, certainly for Leeds, and been a big part of their successes. Again, all the facets of the game, you know, he could create, and you know, born finisher. I think one of the most prolific try scorers in rugby league history, and you know, he's again another great fella. Scrum half, I've gone for Sean Long. You know, the mercurial Sean Long. You know, playing alongside Longy at Saints. You know, he's won us so many games, so many big games. You know, he's a big game player. You know, he's just a mercurial player, and you know, certainly one of the best that I've been fortunate to play alongside. First prop, I've gone for Adrian Morley. You know, what an absolute legend in rugby league. You know, on both sides of the hemisphere. Obviously, a grand final winner in the NRL and in Super League. You know, he's had his disciplinary issues over the years, and you know, he's certainly not shy in whacking people, but you know, when he's on your team, he's the first one you want. And as I say, you know, as regards to, you know, lads, he's up there with the best of them. Hooker, I've gone for Kieran Cunningham. Obviously notable mentions for Terry Newton and Jimmy Lowes as well. You know, played alongside them at international level. Just put his body on the line, you know, week in, week out, and you know, creative and you know, one of the strongest men, you know, that I've ever had the pleasure to play with and unfortunately play against as well during my time for Warrington. Second prop, I've gone for David Fairley. This might surprise a few people. It won't surprise the Saints fans. You know, we only had 1 year with Dave in 2001. This guy made a massive impact on me as a player, how to be, you know, the ultimate professional. You know, everything he did was to be the best out on the field, and a phenomenal player. Second row, I've gone for Jamie Peacock. You know, doesn't need any explaining. You know, Jamie's one of the legends of Super League and Rugby League, you know, worldwide, and just an out-and-out competitor. Never took a backward step, and you know, a legend of a bloke as well. Second row, I've got to go for Chris Joint. Jointy was obviously skipper at the club when I joined. You know, great leader, and for me, a great leader is not only what he says but what he does. And Jointy was always one who led the way with his performance. And again, very much like Dave Fairley, had a big impact on my career in how to be an ultimate professional, and you know, taught me a lot of things about when I stepped up to the captaincy in 2004. And you know, another one very much like Longy, you know, come up with the big plays when they were needed. And for me, the biggest player ever in Rugby League, the Wide to West try, Jointy will always be synonymous with that. Loose forward, I've gone for Andrew Farrell. You know, Faz is you know, unbelievable player. You know, to play alongside Andy at Great Britain was great for me as a player. You know, again, very much like Jointy, an ultimate leader, you know, on the field, and again led the way with his performance. You know, great talker, and you know, I think he was always going to go on to big things in the coaching world, and obviously, you know, doing big things in rugby union now. You know, a highly skilled, you know, player, great passing game, great kicking game, obviously a great runner of the ball, and as you say, you know, an ultimate competitor.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
Absolutely fantastic to hear. Paul Sculthorpe's 1 to 13. We've got Scully's hard as Bales as Jonesy quizzes him on his toughest opponents, and also from the other side, Chris Radlinski's 1 to 13. Check this out.
I'm Chris Radlinski from Wigan Warriors, and I'm here today to name my 1 to 13 players who I've played with. I'm going to start at fullback, and I'm going to break the rules a little bit. While we're in the home of St Helens, I'm going to say the best player I've played with is somebody I haven't played with, but I'm going to name him. It's Paul Wellens, a guy who I've got loads of respect for, and I had loads of great battles with over the years. Tremendous positional player, tough, and a St Helens legend, and I think a lot of him. So at number 1, Paul Wellens. Number 2, Jason Robinson, Billy Wiz. I love seeing him run the ball. So exciting. He put bums on seats. He raised the game, raised the standards, and a true superstar of our game. Number 3, Gary Connolly, one and only lager. An unbelievable player, had all the skills in the game, a tremendous defensive centre, and somebody who could do anything on a rugby field. I love playing alongside him. Number 4, I'm going to go for Australian Steve Ranoff. He played here a couple of seasons, and I learned a lot from him. Very, very talented player. Not the greatest trainer, but he knew his way around the rugby league field. He knew how to break defences down. Number 5, Martin Offiah, unbelievable. One of the great superstars of our game. I played with him, and I've watched him on TV score some of the most incredible tries the game's ever seen. An absolute superstar and a gentleman along with it. Number 6, Sean Edwards. And when I first came into the Wigan side, this was a guy who drove standards on a daily basis. He made sure everybody worked. He made sure if you dropped a ball in training, he would shout at you. He raised the standards of the game in Wigan. An absolute iconic player. Number 7, Adrian Lamb. I believe I played my best rugby when Adrian Lamb was in the team. Somebody who lived and breathed the game. He used to talk to me all the way through, telling me where he wanted me to be, telling me what he wanted to do. An absolute genius on a rugby field. Number 8, I'm going to go for Kelvin Skerrett, one of the old boys. A guy who struck fear into the opposition. It was good that he was on your side. He was not afraid of anything, and he was always rumbling. Somebody who I look back at my career and I was privileged to play alongside. Number 9, Terry Newton. God rest his soul. A guy, again, who I played my best rugby with. I loved him when he was on his game and he was on the rugby field. The enthusiasm he played with, slipping balls out of the back door. He was a revelation, and I loved my time with him. Number 10, I'm going to go for New Zealand international Craig Smith. He was only with Wigan 2 or 3 years, but again, he was somebody who drove standards on a daily basis. Somebody who took the game to the opposition, and he had a really good spell at Wigan. And it was either him or Andy Platt, because again, Andy Platt's in a similar mode to Kelvin Skerrett, tough and rough. And you know, when I was growing up watching Wigan, they were the guys I watched. So to play alongside them, that was a big thrill for me. Number 11, I'm going to go for Dennis Betts. Again, somebody who looked after me in the early days of my career. Could poach a try all around the rugby field. Somebody I enjoyed with socially as well. Someone who I consider a great friend nowadays, and someone who's a tremendous rugby league servant. Number 12, I'm going to go for Australian David Furner. He played in the same team with Adrian Lamb and myself and Terry and Matty Johns, and again, alongside him, he brought a lot to the Wigan club. I wish I would have played longer in my career with him. And number 13, it has to be probably the best player I've ever played with, is Andrew Farrell, a guy who sometimes carried the team on his own, a guy who took on the opposition and the opposition fans on his own, an iconic player, somebody you would not want to get on the wrong side of, and somebody who again drove the standards of Wigan. And you know, he's probably the most iconic player of the Super League era, and I would consider him my number 13 and the best player I've played with. So that's my 1 to 13 from Chris Radlinski.
It's time for another episode of Hard as Bales, and it's serious, is this? It's getting serious. We've come all the way over to St Helens, to the Totally Wicked Stadium, and we've got the St Helens icon, Paul Sculthorpe, who I must admit is without doubt up there with the likes of Sonny Bill Williams, Andy Farrell, as one of the toughest guys I've ever played against with in my life. So I'm really interested as to who his top 5 toughest players are, and he's got them for us. So Scully, kick us off with number 5.
It does make me chuckle, that title, JJB.
What's that? Hard as Bales.
Brilliant.
Pantomime bad guy.
Yeah. He's behind you.
Oh no, he ain't.
Number 5, I've gone for Ruben Wiki.
What? Right.
Played against Ruben numerous times at international level, obviously for New Zealand. And just an absolute animal.
I remember playing against him once in 2005 over at Warrington, Halliwell Jones, and I remember trying to tackle him, and he was like a statue. I just didn't do anything with him, didn't move him, didn't put him on the floor. He was just like he was made out of marble, wasn't he?
He was phenomenal. Like you say, you know, for somebody who can play centre and then move up to prop, it just showed he had every part of the game.
Hallowed type player. He's got eminence just radiating from him. Right, who's your number 4?
Number 4, I've gone for Kieran Cunningham. Obviously. Spent most of my career playing with Kieran.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the first couple of years when I was at Warrington, I had to play against Kieran, and off the mark, and obviously, you know, the damage he did to teams from dummy half. So when you run at you, and you know, equally on defence.
He was fit as well, wasn't he?
He was fit. You know, he was a phenomenal player.
All right, Cunningham. So that's one English guy. I'm interested. Who's number 3?
3, I've gone for Gordon Tallis.
Wow.
Played against Gordon for Australia and for Brisbane. Unbelievable. Just an absolute competitor, and one who, again, just you know, certainly put his body on the line and put your body on the line as well.
Certainly. So take us on to your number 2.
Number 2 was Stephen Kearney.
Yes.
You know, probably a shock to a lot of people. Not an aggressive player, but you know when you've been hit by Stephen Kearney, and you know when you've been run at. But the thing what he had as well, he had the skill to back it up with. I made my international debut on tour in the Oceania Tour in '96. So I was an 18-year-old second rower going up against Stephen Kearney. And
all the best.
Yeah, wish me luck. Just a outstanding player, outstanding bloke, and obviously it shows that now with what he's doing in the coaching game.
So give us, Scully, drum roll, your number 1 toughest guy you've ever played against.
Number 1, I'd have to go, and it makes me feel ill every time I say his name, because I recall all the times that he's run over me or bashed me was Quentin Pongia.
Wow.
Again, it was from that '96 tour, and then obviously the Kiwis come over here in '98 as well. And in '98, you know, I remember playing a game at the Reebok at Bolton, and I'm sure he was on a bonus for every time that he smashed me. Because every time he got the ball, he seemed to drift over and find me, and every time I got it, I was on my back, and it was Quentin Pongia stood over me. It was just you know, it wasn't the tallest, but just it was like granite, and you know, just one of them horrible era of players that, you know, that you'd want on your side, that you knew the opposition would want to know where he was on the field at all times.
I just wanted to ask you mentioned something there, the word era. And Scully, I'm getting a bit old now, unfortunately, to still be playing. But for me, I don't know if it's because I'm a bit older, but you know, when you think about lads like Matauti or I don't know, a Vainikolo and some of those guys with ethnicity and the fast twitch muscle fibres, I don't seem to come across as many of them. And I don't know whether players are hitting and trying to find the flaw as compared to just trying to cause absolute mayhem and destruction like cannonballs. Do you think game's changed a little bit? I
think it has changed, and I think you know yourself, you're still involved, and coaches will speak. It's all about winning the ruck now. It's all about ruck speed. You know, how quick you can get off as defenders, and obviously, you know, how quick you can play the ball. And I think you're seeing it more and more. The props want to pass.
Yeah,
I think there's too many of it.
Right.
I think, you know, still for me, you know, rugby is a game that's played north-south, and it's about getting on top of your opposition and running over people or running through people. For me, there's still too many of the big guys. The first options, where can I pass it, who can I put through a gap, and if it's not on, then I'll take it myself. And for me, you lose that momentum, and you know, you look at, I think a lot of this has come from James Graham, but James Graham, it was a natural part of his game, and Jammer's got that footwork and he's got that pace where he can do both.
Of course.
And I think there's a lot of people, I know, obviously, I think that was a big part of his success in the NRL, but for me, you know, rugby league is still, it's a north-south game and about getting on top of your opposition and you know, in the modern game, you know, get the ball as quick as you can. We've seen it in Saints' performance at Magic this weekend.
Yeah, yep.
You know, it was a game. You look on the back of Alex Walmsley's go forward, and I think James Roby, it's probably the most influence he's had in a game this year, and it's no coincidence. It's on the back of a great forward pack performance.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
One game more, he said, lifting his body from the ground, knowing too well he would never stop. This never stops, never ends. One game. Here, where throwing a ball isn't just a pass, it's a journey through 120 years of history. Here, a fixture is more than a game. It's a rivalry forged along ancient borders. Here, a song is more than support. It's the accumulated passion of generations of fans. A stadium is more than a ground. This cauldron is a place of worship, where all are welcome. Where rugby league is more than a sport, where there will be no final whistle, no season end, there will always be more. More to give, to share, to hand down. More countries to reach, a legacy to build upon. There will be more fans to entertain, moments that will last forever. Players to immortalise, rivalries settled. And legends to embrace. The world's greatest players. Together, here. The 2021 Rugby League World Cup in England will be more than just a game. It will show rugby league for what it truly is. One game. Together.
Michael, you've been nominated to speak for the boys. Are you the cheeky chappy?
Yeah.
He's confident. Tell us what you love about rugby league, mate.
Scoring tries and getting tackled. Bloody noses.
Bloody noses? You're definitely from Wigan, aren't you?
Yes.
This is Darian Cardoza. Your dad were a fantastic player, Big Dale. Definitely an amazing player. If you don't remember Dale Cardoza, a massive guy, strong, but you're also going to be a big, strong, strapping lad the size you're already, mate.
Definitely.
Yeah. Mate, you've moved. This is a bit of a sad day because this lad lived in Leeds for a long time. East Leeds, Milford, best team in the world ever, and now you're over at the Shevington Sharks. How are you finding it on the wrong side of the line?
Well, I still back Leeds, but it's all right. It's all right down there.
Are you still a Leeds fan though? A Rhinos fan?
Yeah.
I think this lad's as hard as Mickey McLaurin. He's a tough man. Is he the hard man of the team?
No.
Who's the hard man?
Kobe.
Kobe. Should I be scared of this Kobe?
Yeah, you should be. Yeah.
Can he really? He's not.
Cracked my hand.
He cracked your hand?
Yeah.
Did you cry?
No.
I'd have cried, I think. So Kobe, are we safe because Kobe's not here right now?
Yeah. No.
What I need, boys.
Except for more players are coming to. More players are coming.
Was it? Well, let's hope Kobe's not here. I'm scared.
Ollie.
So you're one of the youngest for your age as well.
Yeah.
Tell me now, right? When are you gonna make your professional debut? Do you think? How old do you think you'll be?
16.
And which team are you gonna play for?
Leeds.
Leeds Rhinos. Do for me. Do for me. And when do you reckon you're gonna play for England? How old are you gonna be?
20.
20. And Great Britain, how old are you gonna be?
21.
You've heard it here first. Remember the name, Darian Cardoza. He's going to follow in his dad's footsteps. End of the match, a fantastic local derby. It was Joe Burgess Budgie just inches in it tonight, mate. He just missed out, but you had a great performance from the Wigan team.
Yeah, it was. It's always there to take tries off kicks, and that's what punished us tonight. But it was a really good contest, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Mate, Saints played well, they dug in, they looked like a team resurgent, but it really showed the top end of the Super League. It's nip and tuck between the teams. There's some fantastic talent about in there.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what it's all about. This is what we're wanting. A good contest every week. It's a shame to come on the losing side.
Mate, average age of your team is so young. You've got so many fantastic young talent, coming in and doing jobs for a massive injury list. This team's only going to improve. They're only going to get better. We're going to be there or thereabouts at the end of the season.
Yeah. But we don't use that as an excuse about the average age whatsoever. If you're in a Wigan side, you're good enough to play every week. But like you said, hopefully get a few numbers back and really have a good run at back end of the season.
Now that is what you call a derby game. Unbelievable, Al.
Yeah, listen, it had everything, didn't it? You know, they turned up to play and they got stuck in, let's be honest. They're a great side. And, you know, I want to give credit to them. They've got a few players missing, but they really give it to us. It was that's as tough as a battle we've had all year. And, you know, I think that goes credit to the boys, you know, for getting that win at the end. Massive raps, 1-17. We dug hard and Percy come with a massive play at the end, so big raps to him as well.
Speak, you must have had this game on your calendar since the start of the year, mate. Playing against your former teammates. A tough game, but you come up good, mate.
Yeah, obviously my old club and obviously the derby as well. So yeah, it's the first game you kind of look for. But you know, that game, it probably could have gone anywhere tonight. Both teams toughed it out, and you know, I thought the last couple of weeks we've really dug deep, and since Justin's come in, and you know, it's been a great 2 weeks. Hopefully we can build on that now.
Going to Cass next week. It's going to be tough over there.
Yeah, of course. You know, we've played two of the best teams in the comp in the last couple of weeks, and now we go to the best team away. Let's, you know, we can't fall in love with ourselves. I think, you know, so many times this year we've had a couple of nice wins, and you know, we've gone away from what we're doing well, and you know, we've had a couple of bad results. So we've got to keep this head of steam going now. It's important that we don't get ahead of ourselves. We take the same approach into Cass, and we need to make sure we have a good performance there.
So we go 13,000 people tonight, Thursday night, turned out. The passion for St Helens rugby in this area is unrivaled. Your local lad, the fans, the atmosphere, when that try went in, it was electric. They all stand erupted, unbelievable.
Yeah, derby week's a massive week. You know, you can't walk around the town without someone stopping you and, you know, wishing you all the best. I mean, it means a lot to the fans, it means a lot to players. It's just a massive game. I mean, this is a must-win, and thankfully we've won tonight. And you know, I think the bigger picture is obviously to be more consistent now. You know, we have been consistent over the last 2 weeks, and you know, when we play like that, we take some stopping. So, you know, long may it continue.
Well, they're just missing out tonight, boys. Tough carry, that inches in it.
Yeah, no, it's close. Good games always. Good games these derbies, but we're gutted about that loss. But it's the way it goes. You know what I mean? It's a good game for the spectators, and you know, we'll bounce back next week.
Mate, we're going to tough out there, play tough, and without a doubt, like you say, you're going to come back strong Monday. The short turnaround this week.
Yeah, of course. Focus goes on Monday. We've got a quick turnaround. It's probably a good thing for us to get back on the paddock and try and fix some stuff that we need to work on, and come away with a win next week, hopefully.
Let's go to work. Let's go to work.
UK Red Fire and Security fan cam outside the Totally Wicked Stadium, and it is electric. The Saints have had a great derby win. What's your name, pal?
Lee.
Lee, what do you think tonight, mate?
Brilliant.
Are you a happy Saints fan?
Always.
Mate, what's the crack? Is Justin Holbrook the man to turn your team into champions again?
I think so, yeah. Fingers crossed, hopefully, yeah.
What's your name, pal?
Kenzie.
Kenzie. Happy fan tonight?
Yeah.
Were you buzzing when that try went in?
Yeah.
And what do you reckon the rest of the season holds for the Saints?
I think they're going to be top of the league. Wigan, you think they're going to carry on? Wait till Saints come.
If you could kiss any of the lads, which one would you kiss?
Adam Swift.
What about for you?
Oh, I don't know.
Any of them?
Any of them.
Oh! What's your name?
Victoria Appleton.
Victoria Appleton. Do you like Wigan or do you like Saints?
I like Saints better because Wigan are poo.
What's your name, pal?
Alan.
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 Alan. Who's Paul?
Alan. Who are you supporting tonight, mate?
St Helens.
We've got Sam here who's been on work experience in rugby for 6 weeks, and I reckon he said 4 words to me in the 6 weeks. Just looks across the office, but tonight I seen him jumping up and down. Mad Saints fan, going mad. Sammy, tell us about your night tonight.
Oh, over the moon.
Sound so inflated.
Right, I'm well happy. I love that. You got to love when you beat Wigan.
What's your name, pal?
James.
Saints or Wigan?
Saints easy.
Saints. Oh!
Better than you.
Absolutely outstanding. James, have you had a nice night tonight, mate?
Yep.
What would you say to boys now? It's 2 wins out of 2. Looking good. New man at the helm.
Look at Through. Adam Swift plays for St Helens LFC. He was born 20th of 1993. He's a top try scoring winger. We shall keep him for forever. Now let's see he shot from here to Wembley.
Let's go to work, ladies. Rip up, let's get them back to mine.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.